Welcome to another jewelry project with Adam the First Man. Now this one we are going to lengthen this chain. Now this is a very small box chain, and typically on a regular chain I would try to add the same material directly to the chain itself, but this one we're going to have to add jump rings to the end. It's really the only feasible way to add length to this chain. So she needs a 1/2 inch. So I ordered in some small jump rings at her 14 karat gold and will match her necklace perfectly. And we're going to just string them all together, and we're going to close the gap so we have a nice tight seam. And after we get all these put on there, we're going to measure to make sure we have exactly our 1/2 inch. Now this project is a little bit tedious because not only do I have to put all these little rings on, there we have our 1/2 inch. I have to go over to the soldering station and solder every one of them shut with a small piece of solder. So this is delicate. You have to have a certain temperature in your flame. You don't want it too hot to melt the rings, but you want it hot enough to where the solder flows quickly so you can get in and out of there fast. The last thing you want to do is melt these rings together or have the solder flow somewhere you don't want them to go. So each individual ring I have to take my tweezers and line it up just right so my seam is on top, and then very delicately place my solder right on that seam. And then through capillary action, the heat draws it into the seam. And then they're all, nice and soldered shut and won't have to worry about them opening. And the last step is to bring it over to the polisher. Actually, it's second to the last step. Bring it to the polisher, polish up all those little rings so they're nice and shiny, and then put them in my ultrasonic cleaner to get the compound off. And there it is when I'm finished. We added a 1/2 inch of jump rings to lengthen her chain. Now she can wear it exactly where she wants. And one little trick. When you need to put a chain into a baggie, or even if you're storing it, here's a trick from a jeweler. You're going to want to connect both sides of the chain. So use your lobster clasp and hook it onto one of the rings. Place it in the Ziploc bag and get everything down in there except the clasp. Leave a little end hanging out and then zip it shut so that it's stuck that way. This will ensure that you don't have any tangles or any knots when you go and pull your necklace out of there. It's a trick that I use all the time.